Yo, what up, boy?
Sup, my dude?
Well, welcome, everybody. I got my boy Dan. Wait, are we going?
I said 14, but I see you.
Huh, this is interesting. We should be live. I'm adding you to the right. Welcome, everybody. We are live. I don't know what that was. What's going on? The Detroit Lions absolutely smoked the Chicago Bears. Dan, what's happening, dude?
A true dog walking of all sorts. Holy crap.
Unbelievable.
I'm sitting at lunch, and we're not getting the Lions game here, so I had it on my computer when I got home. And I'm like sitting there like eating with like family, and I'm like, oh my god. I checked it and then checked it again, and I was just astounded. Good work. Let's go.
Bro, it was insane. Thank you, everybody, for being here right now as we're going live after the Lions absolutely dog walked the Bears. Yeah, it was pretty intense. The whole game was like
nuts.
Sitting there in the fourth quarter, and
At
I'm
the
like,
end,
Jamaal Williams running for, I don't even know how many yards that run was. I might have been
40 minimum.
40 minimum.
It was nuts.
40. Jamal Williams had 22 carries, ran for 144 total yards.
Yeah,
You're looking at averaging 6.5, dude. 6.5 average. Now,
That's
obviously,
nuts.
it's a 3-12 Bears team, so like we should have.
But to say, because I want to say the Bills averaged 8 last week, but
Okay.
we didn't hold them to 10 and just drop a 40 burger on them. What the heck?
Dropped a 40 burger on him.
Dude,
Honestly, man,
bring on the Packers.
Bring
on the Packers.
Okay, so Dan, in the beginning of this year, I said the Lions would end up going into Week 18 because Bobby and you offered me. You said, "Hey, you want to go to the Bills Pats game?" And I said,
You were like, I think it's going to be important.
I said that game is going to, the entire season will come down to Week 18 in Lambeau, and it was my prediction that the Lions would lose that game. And honestly, I am like, I want to be the fan, dude, who could just be like, yeah, the Lions are going to go in there, we're going to crush them. But on the road, we have struggled. And I look at Carolina last week, and even early this game, where the run defense against Fields really struggling, they were just running the ball on us. And I'm just worried. However, we are celebrating this W. This is huge.
I mean, you're 1-6, right? Going into the Packers the first time, right?
Yep.
And you're going, Packers look like trash, but there's no chance that we beat them. And you held them to 9.
15-9.
And then we just have this lovely little, you dropped to the Bills. The Panthers game was, we won't talk about
Don't
it.
want to talk about it. I saw you a couple days ago. We didn't want to talk about it.
Yeah, but imagine sitting there at 1-6 and thinking that this is the way that the end of the season was going to go.
No, I didn't.
Nuts.
In fact, I made a video, and I was like basically a reality check. We went 1-6. We hit that 6th loss, and I mean, like, I've had people go and comment on it, and they're like, "F you, you're wrong." And I'm like, "Yeah, thank God it was wrong," because I was looking, and I was like, "This team, this defense, we might only win 4 more games if we're lucky." And since then, we've now won 7, and I'm like, "Praise God, they figured it out."
You fired somebody, right, around then?
Yes. Literally, we fired
defensive court. No,
it was the secondaries coach, Aubrey Pleasant. So we
and then
fired AP, and we let Hawkinson go.
Right. Oh yeah, I remember we were like, fire sale.
Literally, there was all of a sudden this moment where I was like, oh no. But honestly, dude, trust Brad Holmes, and Brad Holmes we trust.
Knew what he was doing.
Yes, Packers are playing at 4:30. Thank you, everybody, for being here. If you hit the like button, so I'm told, it helps this move forward into the atmosphere via cyberspace. It's a good time. Yeah. Oh, Uper guy. Lions at Packers. Row 13, 25-yard line. Lions side. Time to buy some Long Johns. Uper guy, I'm glad to hear you're going.
That's awesome.
Let's go. You got to root for the boys. It does scare me, however, if the Packers lose today, if the Packers lose to Minnesota, this is the only game I'm rooting for Kirk Cousins. If they lose, the one good thing is next week they can't usurp us and get into the playoffs if they beat us.
Right.
However, they would play spoiler. And knowing Aaron Rodgers, he would make it his...
Oh, he's a salty dog.
He's the saltiest dog in America.
Well, and you know what would be nice too is that as the Eagles flop without Jalen Hurts, if the Vikings take the 1 seed from all you stupid Eagles fans, like again, I don't like rooting for this purple.
Doesn't matter. F
anomaly up
Philadelphia.
in the north, but oh man, it's been loud here in Jersey.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. And like, quite frankly, dude, I think it's like this. With the Lions being as bad as we've been for as many years, and Green Bay running this division, I don't know if there's a more befitting way for Detroit to sneak into the playoffs than to go to Lambeau Week 18, give Rodgers double deuces, and get in. Like, this is how.
And after 1-6, like that's.
No, 100%. And like, there's no other way than I want to go and do that. Well, it would be
you guys.
awesome.
You can fully control your destiny. You don't have to like in the Bills playoff. You know, we went in and we took care of business against Miami, and then you're just sitting, fingers crossed, going, "Come on, Dalton!
Come on, Dalton!"
Yeah. And so, like, but this is you get to go in and punch Packers in the mouth and get yourself in there.
Literally, go freaking prove it.
It's the old NFC anymore.
No, it's incredible. And like even seeing Minnesota take the division, the Lions being able to have a shot of going into Green Bay, giving them the middle fingers and saying, we're here and we're here to stay. And Green Bay falling. Like, oh my God, it's
great.
It's incredible.
Beautiful.
It's beautiful.
Well, I'm looking at this stat line. If you tell me that Justin Fields averaged 13 yards a run and had over 130 yards, I would have said the Lions lost.
I would agree.
But they did jack diddly otherwise.
Because the guy going into that last drive only threw for, I think, 50 yards.
Yeah, like I had a 40 yards I needed from Montgomery for that parlay that didn't hit.
Stop.
I was like, Montgomery has to get 40 against the Lions run defense. Come
on. Bro. Justin Fields went 7 for 21. It's the most, like, I'm watching him, I'm like
75 yards.
And we're talking now, don't get me wrong, his legs, incredible. If there's a Bears fan here, all the power to you. The guy on the ground is incredible and he makes our boys dance. But we sacked him, I believe, 5 times today, maybe 6.
Yeah, he was getting chewed up a lot. For a quick guy, that's not that like you have these running guys that
7 sacks.
They don't really like Allen with his 26th offensive line in the entire league because they're trash. He gets it here and there, but it takes a lot to get him down, and he moves. Same thing you see, like Justin Fields, like he'll eat sacks, but it's like the dude can move, and the Lions just gave him no breathing room.
No, none.
Freaking Houston! Oh my,
bro!
Did you that one tackle where he showed it later and like, oh, Houston's doing really well today.
Yeah,
and you just far pan out of this body just flinging.
It was incredible.
I'm gonna have to find that replay from my other angles because
please, because like even that play, I look at Justin Fields who scrambles out to the left and he's standing there and he basically dares Justin or James Houston come get him. He dares him.
Yeah,
he's like, I'm just gonna try to shake you. James Houston comes in like a freaking bullet train and just smacks him. Now, granted, Fields almost got out of it. Houston had him wrapped up, but holy crap, James Houston put up 3 sacks today. 3 sacks on his own.
What was his draft position?
Bro, I'm pretty sure we got him. I want to say, oh man, I want to say 4th. I want to say 4th round this year, but I might be wrong.
Like he wasn't number 217.
Yeah.
I'll take that bargain any day.
His first game was against you guys. It was against Buffalo, and he had 2 sacks on Josh Allen.
Yeah, it was really annoying.
Yes, thank you all for being here. Thank you for liking the stream. Goff has been amazing, but the thing, YouTube GM, that I'm afraid of is our performance in the cold. And I know, like, last week against Carolina, we had that fumble on the goal line where I was like, oh my God, that's it. That's the game. That's where the turnaround happened. But it was the defense. Defense couldn't do it. But I think the biggest thing going into Green Bay, dude, I look and I'm like, this is the first time the Lions are playing a meaningful game in January since 2016.
Yeah. And Goff went to San Diego, right?
He college?
No.
Southern Cal,
yeah.
I think.
Southern Cal. Yeah, okay. Down there.
Yeah, California. 6th round. James Houston was a 6th round pick. Oh my God. Yeah.
Nuts.
No, next week is insane, and I love that we're playing for the playoffs. Now, granted, Seattle has to lose today. That's everything for us to actually get in the playoffs. We need the Jets. Hey, I know it, and I'm sorry to say it to you.
Mike White's back.
Okay, so Mike White should. I think
So they're down by touchdowns already, but I think
Who
they
is
on
the
like
Jets?
I think on the opening drive, Seahawks like scored immediately.
Oh God.
By the time I turned the game on, they had already. But that's the thing though is the Jets defense is no joke. The Seahawks are not what they were or what we thought they were. It seems coming into the end of this thing, so it's very likely they take an L today. I wouldn't mind seeing the Jets in the playoffs, but
Nah, I mean,
be nice for Ryan.
Yeah, and I don't think the Jets are a serious threat once they make it to the playoffs in comparison to Detroit in the first round is a threat to Minnesota. If we play Minnesota round 1, we are a legitimate contending threat.
100%. No, and the thing is that like I wouldn't be surprised. Spread would probably be less than a touchdown.
I would imagine.
It's the Vikings, so of course it's going to be less than a touchdown.
Yeah, I mean we pretty much torched them earlier though in that second game. We absolutely came out, and the one thing about that, I'm like, man, I'd love to play in the Dome that first round, and I think the Lions come in and they come in strong. We just got to get there. We just got to get there.
Hey, what did it say? What was it? 7 wins in a playoff or something?
Who said that?
I think that's what I think Foxy always jokes about that or something like that.
7 wins in a playoff game.
Hey, what was it, 2 weeks ago was great for me for Lions winning because I had over 6.5 wins.
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I know. I might have put a little bit of money on seeing the Detroit Lions make it to the playoffs a couple weeks ago. So, because at that point, I honestly thought we were going to run the table. The Carolina game hurt. Chicago came out strong early. That first drive, I was like, all right, it's going to be one of those Justin Field dances again. But our D-line showed up and obliterated them. It was, bro, we rested Goff.
Yeah, it's nuts. You got the Detroit Lions intentionally took out their starting quarterback. That is fun. That is so stinking fun.
It was a great game. And there's been so many games this season where in the fourth quarter, weirdly, I'm sitting there like just not having to be worried. And that's not a feeling I've had. I mean, I really have not had that feeling as a Lions fan ever. So it's such a weird thing sitting there and it's the fourth and I'm just chilling and we're chalking it up, me and the boys. And I'm like, oh my God, we just trounced this team. And I come home and Andrea pulls out her phone and she goes, hey Siri, she goes, what's the Lions score or whatever? And Siri goes, the Detroit Lions pounded the Chicago Bears. I was like,
that's great.
That was good.
Well, and I saw some stat come up during the game, and Jared Goff's number 1 in average yards per game for like, I forget how it's like the last 6 games or something like that. Yeah, in the league.
Oh,
he's highest average or something. And I saw it quick. I should have remembered what it was.
But, see, that's where it would be a shame though. It would be a shame if the Lions don't make it in because of that
after
swing.
all of this.
Yeah. After all of the momentum, the swing, and what they've been able to do to not make it in would sting. That would be tough. However, again, and I think the biggest thing for Lions fans to walk away with is just like, we got a future here.
Well, and that's the thing, right? Is you're having people call for Campbell's head. You're having people say Goff can't even be an intermediate guy to transfer you into a new quarterback or whatever, or can't be the guy for like get him out, run him out of the building. This was the worst trade to ever exist, blah, blah, blah. And that's all being said week 7.
Right.
And then you guys are like, oh, wait a minute. We're sticking good team. This is a good football team.
Yep.
I mean, we said the Thanksgiving game. I was like, yeah, this is great. I'm coming out to Detroit, spending all this money, and they're going to beat the crap out of the Bills. I was like,
yeah. I know. And even like Bobby, the moment the game was over, he just turned and was like, he's like, you know what? We might have won. He said, but that's a playoff caliber team, and that's going to terrorize. 100%. He goes, thank God we don't play you for another 4 years.
Yeah. No, I was like, this is, besides last year, this is our timeline's fine because by 4 we'll probably be done anyway. So
you coming down on the downswing where we'll be crossing.
Oh man. Oh, it's exciting, bud.
Yeah, no, it's super exciting. I'm super pumped for next week. I'm probably throwing a little bit of a party for it. Go nuts. I said I'll either be absolutely ludicrous and insane. I'll be a lunatic, or I will be so quiet and stoic, wanting to force puke the whole game.
Yes. 100%. Oh wait, one second. I'll be right back.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, while Dan is out, huge win for the Lions today, 41-10. Honestly, the receiving portion's kind of wild because I look at it. Amon-Ra St. Brown was targeted 4 times, or he had 4 receptions. The next best person with receptions is DeAndre Swift. DJ Chark only had 2, but you're looking at St. Brown, 4 receptions, 62 yards. DJ Chark, 2 receptions, 56 yards. Khalif Raymond. So really, everything we did was on the ground. We found a way to ground pound and move forward. Jamaal Williams, 22 carries, 144 yards, 1 TD. DeAndre Swift looked like himself. He looked like himself, and it was awesome. And I was like, oh my God. Like, for the most part, Jamaal Williams has been leading this team in the rushing category. But watching DeAndre Swift today is exciting, gives me hope going into next week against Green Bay. And I think the biggest thing for these boys is just like, we're fighting for a shot to get in the playoffs. It's gonna be an exhilarating game next week. Oh my God. Thank you everybody for being here. Thank you for liking the stream, for being a part of it. Detroit Lions beating the Chicago Bears 41-10. Run game was beautiful. All in all, you back?
Yeah, I'm back. I pulled you a new card. I figured out today I have to show you.
What do we got?
You little.
Oh, we got a Jared Goff.
Got a little Jared Goff for you.
So Dan also got me this Amon-Ra St. Brown card that I got here on my desk.
I'm getting like backup Bills or like rookies that stink or whatever. And then I'm just like, oh, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Like,
not bad.
Like one of my favorite Lions. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Oh, it's weird rooting for the Jets today. Oh, man.
Yeah, it doesn't feel good, but...
Doesn't feel good.
Oh, they missed their field goal, too. It sucks so bad.
The Jets missed a field goal?
They must have, because they didn't score.
Oh, my God.
And Mike White already got intercepted. Can we talk about freaking DJ Chark? 2 receptions, that's it.
2 receptions.
28 yards apiece.
Yes, they were BAMs.
Or, well, it was average, but yeah.
One of them was a bomb that
bomb?
That Goff threw, that he was able to get his hand under it. And then there was that one play with that pass interference where he was in the end zone, where the dude standing 5 yards from him, the judge in the back of the end zone, didn't call a PI. He had a dude literally wrapped around him, pulling his arms backwards. And I sat there and I was like, and so he stands up and he's looking at him, and the guy in the back of the end zone is just going like, nah, it's totally good. Thank God they threw a flag, because I was ready to flip a table and walk out of there.
Oh, that was me trying to watch college ball yesterday. I was like, I get it's cool to let the boys play, but they literally had a dude shove his arm behind his back trying to receive, and they're like, it's clean.
Yeah, it's like put him in a full Nelson. They're like, nah, it's totally good.
Yeah.
That guy's fine.
Oh man,
dang, dude. Well, hey,
dude,
thanks for
the
thanks
run
for
game.
On.
Nuts.
Oh, bro, and you know what was cool? I was saying while you were gone, DeAndre Swift. He actually looked like himself today.
Yeah. Yeah, and
awesome.
it's been a minute.
It's unfortunately been a minute. He looked good. He was actually like pulling out the spin moves, making the breakaway, scoring the TD. We weren't just using him, and it looked like, oh, okay, you're back to where we need you to be healthy in order to go into this game against Rodgers in Lambeau.
Oh, and yeah, because I mean, realistically, right? How encouraging is it that not only you had like there besides Herbert, they had a total of 68 yards. So besides Fields,
right.
Like so, like that's good run D as far as it goes from design. Plan runs from backs. I mean, you guys had, somebody just put it in, right? 268 yards. Like if you're going into cold weather, you're going into Lambeau, and that's a worry on your mind, this has to be so encouraging because you can worry about Goff in the cold, trying to figure that out. Obviously you guys playing a dome, so I don't know. I don't have the research of where guys came from college and stuff necessarily, but to have just such a successful day running and defending the run, besides again QB runs, but like Rodgers can't do that.
No.
And like the running backs for Packers are better.
Yeah.
Between Dillon and the passing back.
They got AJ Dillon and Aaron Jones, right?
Aaron Jones. Yeah, which he's been banged up.
Yeah.
But like that has to be so encouraging when you look at like, yeah, I'm kind of worried about Goff in the cold and the passing game, but you guys put up 250 yards running today.
Yeah, the run game was absolute fire. The O-line played incredibly well. O-line just gave Goff nothing but time on the passing plays or opening up those holes for Jamaal Williams and DeAndre Swift. Our O-line is top 3 in the NFL. They're incredible.
Yeah.
And seeing them actually put the pieces together and get that run game going, and Jamaal Williams, dude, played like a madman out there because he's fighting for a contract. So,
yeah.
I mean, he's got it. And it's funny, dude.
If you have an argument for a contract, that was 6.5 average.
Yeah.
You said Jamaal, right?
That's Jamaal.
I was getting confused with Jameson.
Jameson, which is interesting.
Yeah, that one super good run.
Yeah. Jameson had that pitch back, I think, from Swift. It was thrown to Swift. Swift pitched it back to him.
Yeah.
And then he ran it out
Jamaal
to the
Williams,
right.
144 yards? Like, I mean, when's the last time you had a running back who was putting up numbers like that?
I mean, for Detroit, we haven't.
Yeah.
Probably since Reggie Bush, like on a consistent basis. Don't get me wrong, Swift has had his games. And it's funny because that's what Josh mentioned. I'm sitting over there, and Josh was like, oh my God. Remember when we didn't have a 100-yard rusher since Reggie Bush in 2013? I think it was 13.
Oh, I mean, that's the Bills, right? The Bills are looking last week. I mean, again, when we played the Bears, that's also, we had 200 something, I don't know, 230, 240 something. I forget how much Allen ran for, but we had a guy at 99 and a dude at like 106 or something like that. Like, so their run defense does suck.
Yeah.
Apparently, at least 2 weeks in a row. But still, like, you're sitting there, it's just so refreshing. I mean, you know, because you listen to Bobby and I, just the woes of just having absolutely no run game with an O-line who can't open a hole to save their life.
Yep.
But you guys have the pieces up front to which I feel like has his sacks gone down too? Goff's,
yes, yeah. In fact,
because I feel like he's getting more time and he's getting the ball out.
Yep.
And then you have a run game who it was cool to see Swift make a hole at a hole that was not
out of nothing.
But it's really cool to see a big gaping hole that they can just bull rush through and get good yardage.
Yes.
It's great. Yeah. It's great.
Oh, it's great because we haven't had a run game here in years. And so, like, watching it, and, like, that's something that even earlier this season, people were just, like, myself included, like, wow, it's really strange to say that the Lions have one of the best running offenses.
Nuts.
Like,
it's nuts.
It's nuts. It's nuts.
When that's with the Bills fans, you have, like, old heads, and they're like, I remember OJ. And you're like, is that... I was like, we have had a lot of guys between now and then, but it's been a while.
That hurts real bad.
Yeah. You're like, you could have picked a lot of other dudes.
Yeah. No, it was a nuts game. Obviously, Aidan Hutchinson with that one pick at the half. It's freaking exciting.
Barry Sanders was there. Maybe he's our good luck charm for the run
and he just
game.
had the scarf that read grit. And he was just like,
that's so good. I mean, isn't that fun too? Like past players coming and wanting to be there and having a good time and being excited about what the organization is doing. Like, I don't know. A lot of people were out on, I forget her first name, Ford. What's her?
Oh, Sheila Ford Hamp.
I think she's doing all right.
Yo, and that's Sheila Ford Hamp from the beginning. I've been behind because...
Oh, yeah, you've been pounding the table.
I've been pounding the table because I'm like, she is a winner. Everything she has done in her life, she wants to win. And so, like, people, and it's hard because Lions fans, there's been so many woes for so many years that people still
the Ford name carries poor connotations of the area, not even just for football.
Well, not even. Yeah. I mean, obviously, the crazy part is in the football field, Martha did not care. I mean, even I don't think like they were just looking to fill seats. William Clay Ford, you're just filling seats. And they're selling merch, and they know Lions fans are faithful. But to have Sheila in there, who's like, I'm sick of losing. This is not what this is going to be while I'm running it. Thank God.
I'm going to get the most absurd ogre of a man to coach this team. Oh my gosh. I forgot to talk about this too. I loved... He just plays stupid all the time in interviews. That guy is smart. He is not a stupid man. But he intentionally makes himself seem like this dumb,
like a meathead
dude. And it's so funny because you're like, this man's as good an actor as he's a coach.
He's hilarious. Like that Pat
So
McAfee
funny.
thing when he's talking about the
Yeah.
wave and like the amount of people that
He's
was like,
people were like, man, I can't believe a coach would get distracted by the fans, blah 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 blah. And you're like, he's memeing, like he's making a joke here.
making
Like,
a joke. Yep.
Oh
And like
my
him
God.
even talking about the Carolina game, his quote, which they showed halfway through the game, where it was like, that's the best thing possible for us. Sometimes you need to get kicked in the face to come back and to like prove it and show who you are. So I'm like, we absolutely stomped the Bears. Let's go into Lambeau and let's get to the playoffs. But first,
I think it's
we need Seattle. We need the Jets. Oh, they put up 3, so it's 3-10.
let's go. Okay. But yeah, and I think there needs to be there's definitely like a very polarity when it comes to like around the the people who the talking heads or whatever in the around Campbell, right?
Yeah,
Where you have some people who just love the grit and love the emotion and everything that's tied to it, and then you have a bunch of people who just like don't get it.
Yeah.
I feels so. Man, what a freaking win today.
Yeah.
And the same thing, it's like even that when you're saying that they pull that quote up, they had what was it? I think it was Aaron Rodgers. He said something about good medicine or something like that, or maybe it was or maybe it would have been a Bills player. They said losing can be a good medicine. Oh, Von Miller said it.
Okay.
He was like, sometimes you need to get punched in the mouth so you can realize where you're at. And like they could take Von Miller because he's like the golden boy in the league or whatever, and be like, oh, it's so inspirational. And then they talk to like about Campbell, and they're like, what, he likes losing? Like, yeah.
Freaking NFL pundits, man. Sometimes they're just. I'm like, all right, I get.
And
Cool,
they're
but...
trying to, and you're like, it's working.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, man, I'm with you. But no, that's it for today. I just wanted to hop on live. Thank you for hopping on. I appreciate you.
No problem. I was sitting here watching the game, so I was like, why not?
Well, next week,
got my Fireball shirt on, trying to give good energy out there.
Was that the high school team for Josh Allen?
Allen's high school. Jess bought it for me. I was like, yeah, all right.
Yo, your wife, she knows. That's a good move.
You know, hey man, we got a big game tomorrow, so we'll see.
Yes, I'll be watching that one. We'll be watching Bengals, Bills, pulling for the Bills, so you guys keep that 1 seed because we need KC to play Cincinnati before they come to you in the playoffs.
Yeah. Well, and then we'll finally get that Lions-Bills Super Bowl that everybody wants.
Could you,
How horrible would that actually be? Though?
I don't know if I would watch it. I don't know.
I'm not happy either way.
I know. It would be the hardest thing in the world to sit there and be like, the Lions just won, but then to have to deal with knowing that you and Bobby are so broken, and that would be a fit. Or the vice versa.
The Lions game, we're having these Lions fans be so nasty.
I literally almost punched that dude.
Just a couple of them. I was like, I root for you guys every other week.
Every other week? Every other week. And like, we're always pulling for Buffalo. Every other week, just not today. So be nice.
Yeah, not today.
Enjoy the game.
Yeah. Oh, it's funny. It's funny,
unbelievable.
Though. Whatever.
Yeah,
people are gonna be people.
People gonna be people. Dan, thank you for joining. Everybody else, thank you for being here.
Hey, go Lions.
Yeah, go Lions. Go Bills tomorrow, and we'll pick this up next week after the Lions make it in the playoffs.
Ooh.
See you, dude.